Hey guys, DepthFlo here. I'm going to give you a quick options class here. Um, this is how I have my Webull set up. I recommend Webull for several reasons, but I'm not going to get into too much. I'm going to just give you guys a quick rundown of how I have it set up and why I have it set up like this. So options are pretty different than futures. There's a lot to learn when it comes to options, but I have mine set up in a way that makes it as close to trading futures as possible. So each one of my four charts has a watch list attached to it. So I can quickly switch between whatever ticker I want to trade. And these are all tied to their respective chart, except for this one right here on the top left. This is my execution chart. So I do not, there's some lines here on the NVIDIA chart. Um, Sometimes I transfer lines over, but I don't look or chart from any of these charts. I'm looking at TradingView on the other screen. That's how I make my decisions. But um, all right, so let's say I am trading NVIDIA. There's a long position. I am ready to go long. We are trading at 203.44 right now. Click on the options tab, 203.44. So there is no 203.44. There's 202 and there's 205. Uh, there's Greeks with options, which I'm not going to get into. You guys can look that up yourself. But I would recommend that you look at open interest of whatever contract you're going to trade. So we decided we're going to go long. We pull up the options tab. Where are we going to, which contract are we going to pick? 202 or 205? If I scroll to the left at the open interest, 202 has 18,000 and 205 has 28,000. So I'm going to pick 28,000. Now, this is what you would call at the money. If you're trading, if you're entering a position on a contract that matches current price, that's at the money. These are in the money and these are out of the money. I always try to pick a contract that's in the money or at the money. Um, there's, I think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. There's a lot that goes into what affects the options prices with the Greeks, implied volatility and decay. I mean, there's just a lot going on, but I want you guys to have a simple way of getting into options without overcomplicating it. So don't worry about any of that for now. You pick your contract based off of where we currently are in price. And what you need to look at is these numbers here. These are going to be multiplied by 10. So if I was going to enter at 202.5, you can see there's spread right there, 3 cents of spread, 2 cents of spread. So, it's going to vary a little bit, but you multiply this by 10, that's about $100 per contract. So what I would do now, I'm going long, I'm choosing 205 strike price. I right click this, add to watch list, add it to my main watch list. There we go. Now I'm going to go back to the chart here. And if I click on what I just added to the watch list, the 205 calls, you can see this is not the same chart as the NVIDIA underlying chart, which confuses some people because if you're like, okay, I want to put my stop loss right here, well, you can't do that. When you go to enter with, this is how I do it on the Turbo Trader, buy market, sell market. When I hit these buttons, it's going to give me contracts right here on this options chart on the calls that I chose, the 205 calls. It's not going to show my position over here. So how do you pick your stop loss position on this options contract? Well, it's a little bit complicated. It's a little bit tricky. There's some times where the price action on the options contract is going to match what you see here pretty closely, and other times it's going to be completely different. So you kind of got to use your best judgment and just watch and take note of what's happening on the underlying contract So if this is your stop loss, you need to kind of drag this stop loss around and play with it to make it fit what's happening on the underlying contract, if this is what you're using, right? Um, Now, I'm going to show you guys a trade example, exactly how to use all this because it's very important. But I have my stop loss set to 20% and I have my take profit set to 30%. I usually drag my take profit. You guys have probably seen that I usually close my options trades like 100%, 200%. Um, and that usually gives me like 10R because I'm risking 20%, right? If I have a 20% stop loss, and I make 200% on a trade, I just made 10R. So it doesn't really translate to, the way we trade futures. It's a little bit different when it comes to percentage and all that. But um, if I wanted to trade a short, if I decided this is a good place to take a short, instead of adding this side to my watch list, don't click these. Click on the center, the last price when you do this. Right click there. But if I decided instead of going long at 205. If I wanted to go short, I just right click the right side here, add to watch list. And now you'll see that up here, I have the call contract. This is the long position. And then above it, I have this one, which is the short position. It's a put. You just buy calls or buy puts. Buying calls is going long and buying puts is going short. And that is about everything when it comes to the basics. There's a lot more that goes into this, and I'm happy to kind of mentor you guys through the process. But I just wanted to show you guys that this is how I have my stuff set up to make it simple for zero DTE intraday trading. And I think I might have already mentioned this, but I already have every contract, every ticker automatically open to the nearest expiration. These are all different expirations. If you were to select these, these don't expire until January 2028. And you can see how expensive they are. 49 times 10, that's just 5K, for just one contract. That's a lot of money. But anyway, back to the zero DTE. That's what I trade. This is how you do it. And now I'm going to get into how I actually execute it. I'm going to show you a recap. Okay, guys, here is the recap that I promised. So here on this day, I was trading Microsoft, and are we still recording? I think we are. Okay, so I was trading Microsoft. Here you'll see me enter Microsoft in, check the chart. I select my contract. There we go. And now here, by market, you'll see the stop loss and the TP. Okay, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. I want to show you guys how I take my partials and how I manage my trade because it's important. I currently have two contracts. It cost me, I think I paid 700 premium for those. So you can see my market value is at 820 right now. Currently up $60, 7%. Fast forward. Here, I'm adding another one to my watch list. Don't mind that right now. Still in two contracts on Microsoft. Okay, I'm coming back to manage my position on Microsoft. We are shooting up, I'm in profit, and I'm about to close a partial. So you'll see how I do this. Okay, this is how I'm closing my partial. Cancel all single options right there. Click that button. Sell one market. Now what you need to do Click the three dots, close position, close by stop loss, take profit, and now it will re-add a new TP and a new stop loss. This is unique to trading options and on Webull. This is how it's done. You have to cancel all single options before you can take a partial. You can't set another contract when you have those open contracts on the chart. So from here, I went break even, closed one contract, and now I'm just letting it ride. So that process right there of cancel all single options, sell one market, and then re-add the stop loss and TP is very important, and you have to be able to do it quickly. So this is why I wanted to show you guys how I use the Turbo Trader and actually enter positions when I'm trading.